Usually after we import our Spotify dataset, we have to go through and do some cleaning of it, in particular where we remove these blank spaces. There's another way to do that, which is when we import it, use the NA values keyword to say, in this particular dataset, the not a number values are represented by a blank space, and that way Pandas knows to convert those blank spaces into NumPy not a number. And so because I've done that, I don't have to do the usual cleaning, and I can just instantly use pd.datetime. And then, I mean, if I try this on the whole data frame, it won't work. It'll say something like, some of the elements do not have the correct format. So what I can do is I can take the release date column, and let me remind you what this looks like. It looks something like that, and notice how here it says dtype is object. And now let me try this. So here it looks very similar, like they're all printed as strings, but notice that now the data type has changed to some specific pandas, or maybe it's a NumPy data type, where there are going to be all these extra functions, such as what month is this, or what day is this? And let's check if we go back to our data frame df, and let's just check what the data types are of all of the different columns. And so notice here's release date and it's still object. So what did I do wrong? Well, notice that this is not changing anything about the data frame. Okay, all it's doing, and the hint that it didn't change anything is that it shows the series here, shows the pandas series. So if I want to change it, I can use a little different syntax. I can say df release date equals, and now the exact same thing. So this says replace the old release date column with this one that's been changed to date time data type. Okay, and now if I check the data types, and now you can see the release date has changed. Okay, so that's working well. And now the question was, how many of these songs were released on a Tuesday? So I can do df release date. And what I want to do is I want to go through each of these entries in this pandas series, and I want to apply the day name function to it. So just as an example, let's do df.loc. Let's do 3. Okay, so this is 2021, June 25th. And if I had done iloc here, it would not work. The 3 would be fine, but this release date part would not work because the release date is the name, not the position, not the index number. So there is one typical entry inside of this column. And now to that, I can say day name. Okay, so that's an example of one of the things I want to do. Okay, I could also do month name. And I want to apply this day name to every element, not just this one particular element in the release date column. So I can do df release date. And now it's a little different from a data frame versus a series. For a data frame, you usually use apply map to apply something to everything, or apply to apply it to a column or to a row, or to all columns or to all rows is how I should say it. So that's for a data frame. For a series, which is what this is, then I should use map. So dot map, and maybe day name would work already by itself. I think it's hard to predict whether that'll work or not. So instead, my guess is that it would not work. And anyway, here is the more flexible way to do it and the way that you could predict better. Let's use a lambda function. So let's say lambda, and we'll call our variable d. And then to this input d, which is going to be each of the entries in that column, we want to apply this day name. So that worked. And you can see that it seems like most of the songs are released on a Friday. And yeah, there's some different ways we could do this. Let's say, so let me copy this. And let's say, is it equal to Tuesday? So it looks like the answer is not often correct. Okay, the answer is not often yes. But here we can see a data frame that has just the songs that were released on a Tuesday. And let's see how many of them there were. There were 60. Maybe a nicer way to find that is to make this and then say dot shape. Okay, and so then here's the number of rows, and the number of columns, that would be the same as the number of columns in our original data frame, okay, 23 columns. So the answer in this case to how many of the songs were released on a Tuesday would be 60. Yep, that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching.